Disclaimer, this video contains scenes of me taking a legal stimulant substance. Although the substance in question is legal and I am of age, Geography Now does not promote substance use for anyone. Plus, it was pretty disgusting and I hated it.
Kitty, come here. This cat has a Hitler mustache. Oh my god, look at this little Hitler kitty. Oh my god, it's Hitler cat. Oh, hi mom. We bribed the conductor to give her a room.
How are you feeling, Mr. Bobs?
That was a really bad idea.
Dear Uzbekistan, best train ride ever. Malika is a woman who was born and raised in the USA, starting in Florida, but eventually moved up to Brooklyn, and by all means is a classic New Yorker. Before I had met her, for the first 2 decades of her life, she had never left the country or had even traveled west of the Mississippi River. The thing is, she's half Uzbek and half Turkmen, and despite never seeing or stepping foot in the motherlands, she is brought up to speak Uzbek, some Turkmen from her dad's side, finds a small Uzbek community, and is taught to honor the traditions, customs, and values of these seemingly distant yet familiar peoples her ancestors came from. Thousands of miles away, a guy named Jahon is living in Australia with a noticeably taut but passable Australian accent. I say noticeably taut because English is actually his third language. He is ethnically Uzbek, born and raised in Uzbekistan, first taught Russian, then Uzbek, then moved to Australia where his English came in. Both Malika and Jahon have had a complicated story of trying to figure out how to navigate life, juggling nationhood with ethnicity, with location and language, with a little bit of religion and family. I mean, I get it, my grandma was forced to speak Japanese or else she'd be punished, and my great-grandfather left the mafia to train monkeys on the street, but that's another story. The point is, despite the chaos life had to offer, Malika and Jahon have always held fast and strong to their Uzbek roots. I always say my favorite part of doing my job is meeting the people of each country and listening to what they have to say. That's the magic of Geography Now, and these two were key pivotal characters that would take me on a wild journey I never expected to embark on, and with my mom. And when it came to Uzbekistan, the questions far outnumbered the answers. Uzbekistan, let's be honest, most people have probably at least in passing heard of your name. I mean, you have kind of a funny sounding name. It's like Uzbekistan, like Uz or Uzi or Becca, Beckham, David Beckham, whatever, I digress. The point is, most people have probably heard of your name, but have little to no knowledge about you, despite you being the home of crucial moments and figures that have altered history. You're like a land where the Turkic world clashes with the Persian world, yet became heavily Russified. It's like there's always a trichotomy within your identity. I love complexity, and you guys are a treasure trove of it. So it was especially an honor when Jahon pulled as many strings as he could by getting Uzbekistan Airways and various other Uzbek companies to sponsor Mom and I to come to Uzbekistan for the Uzbekistan episode. And I didn't realize how good Jahon was at pulling this off because he wasn't just taking my mom and I to Uzbekistan. We were literally going to follow the Silk Road. Dear Uzbekistan, or specifically Uzbekistan Airways. Mom has flown business class before, but this was actually my first time, and I got to share it with Mom, so a huge thank you for giving me that core memory. I'm the type of guy who can't sleep unless if he's laying down, and being able to do that on this plane, ooh. Also, the food was top notch. I noticed you incorporated some Uzbek elements like horse meat, and I mean, I get it, filet mignon are like staples of business class. I'm just a little surprised plov wasn't on the menu. Such an iconic national dish. I really thought you would offer it, but oh well. Oh, and the movies were a little funny because they were all mostly Russian films, and the only option for translation was a really monotoned and deadpan dubbed voiceover in which every character was done by the same man and/or woman. I did a skit of this on the Uzbekistan episode. Here it is one more time.
Legally registered husband, I am having upset for you going into space.
Foolish wife, do not be having fearfulness. I am doing good for proletariat comrades.
In any case, we finally arrived.
Made it! Uzbekistan!
Oh, finally I can talk to you.
Finally. Yeah, how you doing?
They gave her flowers.
That was good. And what do you think? Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Hello.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. I wish they had that on the airplane. Uzbekistan's national dish with the super oily, savory rice, meat, carrots, and quail eggs. Oh, I love quail eggs. A few small things I'm noticing. Number one, almost all the cars I see are either black or white Chevys. You guys are obsessed with Chevys. Chevy, Chevy, Chevy.
They'll literally manufacture Chevys.
Number two, last year you transitioned from the Cyrillic alphabet to the Latin, and I'm noticing that although yes, Russian is still heavily spoken here, it's pretty evident that English is starting to have a stronger preference and presence in your country. Everywhere I see English words in English schools offering tutoring. In any case, your capital Tashkent is mind-boggling. So much happening and so many cool hidden secrets. It's so crazy that you guys have the largest Korean community in all former USSR nations that were relocated during Stalin times. We had to meet one of them.
This is so interesting. We met this Uzbek Korean lady working here in Tashkent. She speaks only a little bit of Korean, mostly just Russian, but you can see the influence in the cuisine that they cook. There's like kimchi and pickled vegetables and fish. It's like they brought their culture here to Uzbekistan. That's intestine.
Yeah, unfortunately, my mom could only communicate a few simple words in Korean to the lady, as she was only fluent in Russian and had minimal knowledge of the Korean language. I was told most Korean Uzbeks have either lost the language, or for the few that still speak it, they typically have the North Korean dialect, as they were more closely related to the North Koreans that migrated to Eastern Russia. Still, it was fascinating to see how they held on to certain aspects of Korean cuisine and made their own Uzbek version of kimchi. Despite decades of cultural disconnect, there was still a sense of kinship we felt when we met these people, like long-lost cousins. I'm really glad that we had this encounter. And in all places, a Turkic, Perso-Russified, Muslimy nation doubly landlocked in the middle of nowhere.
The high note. There we go.
Sharbat.
Cheers.
So it's apricot extract kind of thing. Not bad, eh?
Mashitan, it's good.
In Korean. You guys know I love riding metros. Where are we?
We are at the metro, Tashkent Metro. The station is called Bodomzor, which means lots of almonds.
Let's see if there's lots of trains.
Yeah.
Look at the floor, you know, the design.
So there's marble.
Looks pretty cool. Heard of Disneyland? Well, get ready for Tashkentland. It comes with all your favorite rides, like the roller coaster, the octopus, the kangaroos. That is so racist. Are you kidding me? Hey, why not? Let's add a troll and some Smurfs. Disney characters. Definitely the same franchise. I don't know what Donald Duck is doing. So check it. There's the Starbucks logo, but it's not a Starbucks. It's a Relks. Kegel, Pomo, Louis Vuitton, Polo without the guy doing polo, Air.
Let me read it out for you.
Okay, read this out.
So it's Atuo Mobli Lemaro Bungin.
You have no idea how much I love bootleg brands.
So, Koreans have something just like this called sundae. But this is called what? Hasum. It tastes like sundae too. Okay, this is Magic City. It looks like a magical place sponsored by Pepsi. So this Magic City is pretty cool, but it has a bunch of like weird off-brand logo brands. Cherry? Dos Hermanas? Selfie? De facto? like trying to imitate Big Ben. And there's a brand called Ramiz. When in doubt, just go to Gustimo or Feed Up. Maxway, Subway ripoff.
I wonder if there's an actual entrance into that castle, or is it just like a...
I don't know. Jacqueline, what is this guy? Explain.
So this is Timur, also known as Timur the Lame, also known as Amir Timur or Tamerlane. He was apparently by some considered as the third or second most powerful conqueror in human history after Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great, arguably. Destroyed the Ottoman Empire, conquered India, conquered pretty much most of the southern Russia, Persia, destroyed the Mamluks of Egypt. On the other hand, he used very ruthless tactics. Apparently, some scholars allege that 5% of the world population died because of his conquests. Nevertheless, he is a national hero of Uzbekistan, but his legacy is like, you know, he was ruthless.
You decide.
Dear Uzbekistan, I'm a weird guy in that I have very specific dreams about seeing the geographic anomalies I've noticed from years of studying the globe. You are home to one place I never thought I'd make it, let alone bring my mom to, the Aral Sea, or at least the dried up seabed of the Aral Sea.
Let's go to Nukus. Here we are at the airport.
Let's do it.
Yep. Let's go.
Flying to the capital Nukus was easy. Driving to Moynak about 2 hours away was the difficult part.
We got a taxi. We're going to Moynak. First, we got to get some food and snacks for the ride. Market time. Drinks. Oh my god.
Typical Uzbeki waffle. Yum,
Yeah.
yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, maybe get a few of these. Maybe a few of these. Here, let's whatever these are. I don't know.
Anything else? We're good?
I think we're good. Welcome to Karakal, Pakistan.
Yeah. So in Karakalpakstan, first of all, that's the Karakalpak language. It's not even Uzbek. And second of all, you're not allowed to enter gas stations. You have to stand outside while they do the job, because it's like safety hazard, right? Or just
Safety thing, yeah.
just gotta get out because it could explode, you know.
Go through this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that. Come here, Kabul. Come here, puppy. Puppy. Little Karakalpak. Karakal puppy.
Little puppy. Karakal puppy.
That's the Abu Darya. Whatever's left of it. There is nothing more authentically Uzbek than buying kurt on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. I love it.
Ah.
You gotta get kurt on the side of the road. That's Uzbekistan. I like it.
Oh, I'm just gonna lick it.
Eventually you have to bite it.
Not bad.
Not bad, not bad.
Woo. We made it. This is Moynak, and believe it or not, all this right here on the side, this used to be water. This is pretty much considered the world's biggest ecological disaster, man-made. So here we are.
Dear Uzbekistan, or better yet, Dear Karakalpakstan, the autonomous region of Uzbekistan that has its own people that speak their own language and have their own flag. Hell, even Jahon had problems speaking to our taxi driver. He had to use like simple base Turkic words that both languages shared. I can't believe this little town was a shipping port on what was once a thriving body of water that stretched beyond the horizon. And it was crazy because like on the drive there, you knew you were getting closer to the sea and you saw salt crusts on the ground.
Look at this. It looks like snow, right? These white patches of area. It's not snow. Salt. This is evidence of what it used to be a long time ago. So check this out. You can see the progress of how much the sea shrunk over decades since the Soviet times. And right behind me, that all used to be water.
I've researched this place, I've seen the pictures, I've watched the documentaries, but actually stepping on this land was an almost eerily joyous occasion for me. On one hand, I was standing in a place that was a physical testament to how destructive human actions can be when environmental factors are involved. But at the same time, I was in a place that was very difficult to access, that few intrepid travelers get to see, let alone feel and touch, smell and hear. I'm sorry, but morbid dramatic backstory aside, that's kind of invigorating for me. Speaking of which, the silence was deafening.
Jackie, what do you feel? How do you feel about as an Uzbek seeing this?
A little bit sad, to be honest, because this is clearly a man-made catastrophe. It's one of the biggest ones in the world, and it is sad.
Probably the biggest.
Everything is gone. It's just desert and dry. The most landlocked country in the world is Uzbekistan, and we lost the only sea that we ever had, thanks to the Soviet period. Cotton was really worth it. Cotton and agriculture was really worth it.
Yeah.
The cost of this.
It was totally worth it. You have no idea how much I wish I could have brought my drone.
Yeah, the government was like, hell no when I applied for my visa.
So this used to be the second largest city in the ancient Khwarezmian Empire. It's called Mizdahan, and it got totally destroyed by
Timur, your hero.
Yeah.
Mizdahan, an ancient, it even dates pre-Islamic. The Khwarezmian area is basically the birthplace of Zoroastrianism. And what they would do is they would bring their dead bodies on the highest point and let the birds of prey pick at the flesh, and then they would just collect the bones. Correct, Jahon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was converted to a necropolis. Pretty appropriate considering that it's a Zoroastrian burial site. And way over there is Turkmenistan.
I told you this place is loaded with crazy cool secrets. In any case, after all that was done and said, we continued on the Silk Road with a train to Khiva. This was probably my favorite part of the trip.
So Naswar, it's very legal. It's no problem. You can have it. It's called Naswar. It's made out of this like a tobacco-like product. So it turns you into a falcon.
Turns you into a falcon. Ready, Mom? Uzbekistan. It's spicy.
About 15 minutes after that,
I'm sweating like crazy.
Pretty normal, pretty typical for rookies. You know what that means? That means we'll have to do it again later in Tashkent.
This is a Kalta Minor built during the 19th century. It was supposed to be the tallest minaret in the world. Russians came, they had to stop. It's unfinished. It's called the small minaret, but it's pretty huge. So these are the city walls of Ichan Kala, the inner part of Khiva. Kalta Minor minaret right there. Can you imagine how tall it would have been if they had finished it? It's supposed to be the world's tallest minaret. It still stands like that today, and it's beautiful. This is Khiva in the Khwarezmian region. Welcome to the Silk Road.
Dear Uzbekistan, look, I'm just gonna be honest. Out of all the places we went to, this was my favorite. Khiva is not only just this magical citadel that you can see, but you can actually rent Airbnbs inside of it. I think it was like less than $20 a night for both me and my mom.
So this is where we're staying, and get a load of the breakfast. This is insane. Uzbek breakfast. Breakfast.
No, that's jam. This is probably like apricot jam or something.
I don't want to share this place.
Just don't tell the address.
And around every corner is something absolutely breathtaking. The sandstone mixed with ancient turquoise and blue tiles. The thing is, this type of aesthetic is not unique to Khiva. It's found all over Uzbekistan, and we would see more of it in our next stop, Bukhara.
Now we're here at the train. Let's go to Bukhara.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in a sleeper train. Mom's down there, just you know, chatting it up.
Yeah, I'm a relatively short guy, so you know it's bad when I can't fit in a compact space.
He says he wants to shake your hand, and he will be telling for the rest of his life everyone how he should an American person say like he'll be. Follow.
We just made it to the Airbnb. Gotta watch Uzbek soap operas. Feruza is like, I'm gonna disown my daughter. We all hate her now. Oh, she gave her the money. Is that an advertisement? So, we're gonna do tea time. You gotta cleanse the tea 6 times. So that's 1, put it back in, 2, and then 3, and pour it back in.
So that's technically 6.
And the 7th, and that's how you clean the tea in Uzbekistan. Okay, Uzbek subscribers, what is this called? It's so good. It's like a candy. It's like a halwa. It's like crunchy. But it tastes like cotton candy or like candy floss.
I'm so ashamed. I'm Uzbek. I should be knowing that, but I don't. When we bought it, the lady said it's halwa.
But that's like anything. Anything could be halwa.
Yeah.
What is the exact name of this?
It's very sweet.
We like it. What do you feel like? What are some things about this area, Bukhara, that you really stick out?
It's definitely half Tajik, half Uzbek at least, and everywhere I go, I can hear a lot of Tajik speech, you know, even more than Uzbek. The taxi driver told us that apparently 85% of the town, of the city of Bukhara, is bilingual, speak both Persian, Tajik, and Turkic Uzbek.
Dear Uzbekistan, so basically, as you can see, our journey is just gonna follow the Amu Darya River to reach 3 of your top UNESCO sites. We already went to Khiva's citadel, and now the home of the Samanid dynasty, Bukhara. Unlike Khiva, all the notable sites are spread apart, not concentrated, so you have to drive far to get to each of them. Luckily, taxis are super cheap, especially when you have an Uzbek guide to help you get the local rate. And that's the other thing. Mom and I pass as Uzbeks, so as long as we keep our mouths shut and let Jahon do all the talking, nobody really tries to heckle or hassle us with tourist rates. I love being racially ambiguous.
So, check it. Yuri Gagarin ice cream. It's a hot day. I just got this random 20 kopiek Soviet-style ice cream. It tastes like very generic utilitarian vanilla. Is it good?
I told you, very suspicious taste.
It has a suspicious taste. So we're here in Bukhara. At one point, this place had over 100,000 Jews. It was the Jewish center of Central Asia. Today, there are only about estimated less than 10,000. They really had an impact. In fact, they predated Islam in this area, I believe, correct?
For centuries.
Thousands of years. It's interesting. In an Islamic country, you see something like this. Oh, here we are, the Ark of Bukhara. Huge fortress in the middle of the old city. So this was the summer residence of the Bukhari Emirate. And tons of peacocks all over the place. Just everywhere. Okay.
Don't be shy.
I've never been around this many peacocks at once. Jeez, they're all over the place. Look at that. So I guess we stumbled upon some kind of a theme park, amusement park. Okay. This is what I love. I love seeing rip-off bootleg Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I love this. Oh my God. And it doesn't even stop there. Rip-off McDonald's shawarma in Cyrillic.
So this is Ismail Samani's mausoleum. So that's where he was buried, and he was originally from Bukhara. And Samanids are considered fathers of the Tajiks. You know, it's like their most important part of their history.
And there's a theme park right next to it.
I love these random, unexpected, secluded pockets of the world, and it's one thing I strive to discover in my travels. In any case, Uzbekistan, you know the last place I have to go to, your #1 top destination everybody goes to, the most famous city in all of Uzbekistan. Here we go.
Looks cool, right, Mom?
Oh my gosh.
This is the Registan, basically the home of Timur. If there is anything that is more iconic to Uzbekistan, it is this place. Look at it. So apparently in Uzbekistan, in all the sites you go to, they have an Uzbek price and they have a foreigner price. To visit this Registan for an Uzbek, it's about 40 cents. For a foreigner, it's $10. Luckily, Mom and I can pass as Uzbek.
So $10 for them, 40 cents for me.
But you
the
got
same
us.
ticket.
You got us in for the Uzbek price.
We did.
We pass. We
Kept it
pass.
quiet.
We saved a ton of money. Keep in mind, this trick only works if you look Uzbek and if you have an Uzbek to do all the talking. So
That's right.
thank you, Jackie boy.
No worries.
Dear Uzbekistan, I don't even feel like I want to take a moment to talk about what the Registan is. Nothing said on a YouTube video can do it justice. You just have to go and see it. It's a place that just emanates the very essence of Central Asia and how much it played in shaping the world. Shortly after all of this, Jahon, which by the way I call him Jackie, a little late to clarify that by now, but whatever. Jackie and I filmed the Uzbekistan episode in his house by making a makeshift Geography Now studio with the iconic black tarp that I brought over. In the end, you were the very first Central Asian country I ever visited, and I don't think there could have been a better country to start with than you. On a side note, shortly after I met Malika, she married Rauf, the guy from the Turkmenistan episode, and she has finally left the country for the first time and become a traveling fiend, going to places like India, the Netherlands, and yes, even the motherland, Uzbekistan, with her husband. Jackie's doing well. He's back in Australia, making more content to bring awareness to Uzbekistan. He even went to Vanuatu to help me film some of the people in my Vanuatu episode. I have a feeling I'll be back someday. I terribly regret not having enough time to see the Fergana Valley and all the unique anomalies you can find there, or getting a multiple entry visa to cross over into Kazakhstan, only 10 kilometers away from Tashkent. I definitely have some unfinished business there. Until we meet again, Rahmat.